Hello everybody, it's King of Horror, and today I am going to be ranking the Spirit Halloween 2023 animatronic lineup. Now, I've seen almost all of these in person, and the ones that I can see in person. I've seen them a couple times in person, actually. I've seen videos of the online onlys, and I think I can make a pretty definitive ranking video today. Now, obviously, my opinions might change in the future, but for now, this will be the order. Again, just another note before we begin, heckles will not be included in this list. The gargoyle will not be included in this list because he's technically not an animatronic. The Killer Clown's Cotton Candy Cocoon will not be included. And Menacing Molly and Ghost Swing will not be included because those are technically returning props that really haven't changed. However, I will be including the brand new Thresher animatronic into this list. So, with that being said, let's get into the rankings. At the bottom of the pile, coming in at number 22, we have Slim. Now, I know all you Killer Clowns fans are gonna hate me, but I am not a Killer Clowns fan. And for that reason, that's really the only reason that Slim is this low. The animation is pretty good, the face sculpt is pretty good, but it's a clown, and one from Killer Clowns to boot. And that monstrous $400 price tag isn't helping its case either. So all of those factored in give the final... Come on, man. Starting with the bottom of the pile, at number 22, we have Slim from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, I know all you Killer Clowns fans are gonna hate me, but I'm not a Killer Clowns fan, and that's just my opinion. I feel like if this wasn't a Killer Clown, it would be pretty good, because the animation's okay, the face sculpt is really good, but it's a clown, and from Killer Clowns to boot, so not my favorite, and the $400 price tag does not help this guy's case. So, last place is where he will stay. At number 21, we have Dagger Mike. Now, this guy did very little to impress me. I thought he could, when I first saw him in the videos, I thought maybe he could be a little bit better in person. But if anything, he was worse. He was much smaller than I expected. And the animation was a little lackluster. The jump scare was meh. The aesthetic looks really bad. And I feel like the only reason that he gets put up a spot higher than Slim is because of the unique jump scare. At number 20, we have the Crypt Keeper, otherwise known as simply the Keeper. Now this one probably would have been a little bit higher if it was an officially licensed Crypt Keeper, which it's not. It's just branded as the Keeper, and it's got a massive price tag of $400. Again, it has really basic movement, and it's an online only. And I feel like none of those really are helping it. Because if I don't see it in person, like, it won't make me want it more. I feel like you have to kind of see it in person, if you know what I mean. The massive price tag and the basic movement, it all adds up to a pretty low ranking prop. At number 19, we have one that I was really hoping to love this year, and it kind of fell short of that, and that's the Howling Spirit. I love a good ghost, but I feel like this one really missed the mark. I do like the fact that it kind of looms over you, like it kind of leans down. But the face looks so bad. It's not even that it's a bad face design. It's just so generic. It looks like they took it off one of the inflatables that they sell and just put it on this guy. If he had a better face, this wouldn't be a lot higher on my list. But he's just the definition of generic. The only thing he has going for him is that height aspect that he just kind of looms over you. But other than that, not the greatest ghost that we've ever seen. At number 18, we have the Cauldroness. Now, I'm happy to say that this one exceeded my expectations. Now, I didn't have many, but it exceeded them. And that's a good thing, because if it didn't, it'd probably be in last place or second to last place. I feel like the animation is really cool. You've got so many different points of animation. You've got the arm swirling around the cauldron. You've got the mouth movement. You've got the hand that pours the smoke into the cauldron, and then it lifts its head up and the smoke billows out of the cauldron. And I think all of that looks really good. My only complaints, I have a few. One, the beaker looks really bad. It's like a matte orange. Like, it should have been, if they were going to go with a matte color, it should have been black. But they went with orange, and this looks like a repurposed traffic cone, I'm not gonna lie. And the other gripe that I have with this prop is the face. It looks so goofy. It, like you could practically, I don't know, like, I can't even put it into words. That's how dumb the face looks. Oh, and another thing. If you don't have a fog machine to go with it, it's kind of pointless. Because you really need the fog to add that special effect in with the smoke billowing out of the cauldron. And if you don't have that, you're just going to hear like a really loud whirring sound and nothing's going to happen. So for those reasons, the Cauldroness is at number 18. At number 17, we have the 2023 Creepy Rising Doll. Yeah, not much to say about this one. I still don't understand why they decided to bring back Creepy Rising Doll of all the props they could have brought back, but I'm not too upset. And like I said, I really like the redesigned face sculpt. I feel like the new motor is a lot smoother and it looks better. And I feel like overall it's just a better prop. But it just, compared to the other props from the year, it's just not as good. At number 16, we have the Thresher animatronic that just released yesterday, maybe today, I'm not sure. And I got really excited when I saw the face for this guy, because he almost looked like a scarecrow mixed with a corpse, and I thought we were going to get another farm prop. And I guess we kind of did, because it does say that this guy is apparently a scarecrow, but he doesn't look like it. He looks like some kind of swamp mummy thing. And I'm not too upset about that, because while I was hoping for a scarecrow, swamp mummy thing also looks pretty good. I don't like that he doesn't have any movement. Yeah, he is a walkthrough. I never really understood those. I mean, I guess they're cool, like you have to walk under the monster, and they could scare little kids. But I feel like they're always kind of corny. And at first I thought this guy was going to be a first, in which he was not corny for a walkthrough. And in terms of aesthetic, he's not. He's actually pretty creepy. But the voice lines, they almost remind me of the Possessed Pumpkin voice lines, like those kind of corny, childish Halloween referencing lines. And sometimes he rhymes them. And I feel like that just doesn't give off the proper essence that it should. if you want to make it really scary, maybe don't even have voice lines at all. Maybe just have like some weird ambiance in the background. Or maybe like heavy breathing, I don't know. But that's my only issue with the corny voice lines. Other than that, pretty good, pretty solid walkthrough prop, and a good prop in general. At number 15, we have Leatherface in the Pretty Woman mask. Now I was really excited for a cool Leatherface animatronic. And I got half of what I wanted. What I really wanted was a good moving chainsaw, because I don't think we've ever seen that in an animatronic before. And we did get that. It looks really good. The movement is extremely visible, so you know it's moving. But the movement of the actual animatronic is a little bad, to put it simply. It reuses the Mr. Punchy mechanism, and it just doesn't look right for Leatherface. I feel like he should have more of a jarring, kind of erratic movement, not a very circular, smooth motion. And I don't know why I'm not a big fan of those like periodic grunts that he makes. It just doesn't sound natural. I mean, I guess Leatherface isn't really natural, but it doesn't really make sense. Aside from that, I like the character. I feel like the Pretty Woman mask was a unique addition to a otherwise common horror icon. And overall, I think collectors will really like this guy. But I will say, personally, I prefer the Party City one. At number 14, we have the Martian Warrior from Mars Attacks. Now, this guy and Leatherface were originally swapped, but I thought about it for a little bit. And I realized that we haven't gotten a good alien prop since, I think, 2017, when we had the whole Area 31 setup. And I was just thinking about that because, you know, aliens are a really cool, underrated part of horror. And the fact that we got another one this year was really cool. Now, sure, it's a licensed character from a movie that I didn't even know existed, if I'm being honest. But taking it out of the licensed perspective, it's just a really cool alien. It looks really classic. I want to even say like almost stereotypical, but that's a good thing. Don't take that in a bad way because it looks amazing. The facial design is really cool. Even the real simplistic head turning movement looks appropriate, and the gun that shoots the mist also is a really cool addition. I was a little angry about the $400 price tag. But you know what? That's fine. If you really want it, you really want it. I'm not going to buy it, but there are people out there who will. And for Spirit, that's a good thing. Because they made a quality alien that people will buy. At the lucky number 13, we have Lil Jack Carver. I wish I could say I like this guy more. Now, I'm not going to go on a 5-minute rant like I did last time about him, but just to refresh your mind if you forgot what I said. The laugh really gets on my nerves, don't like it. The jack-o'-lantern doesn't even go all the way around his head, so if you're looking at it from the side, the jump scare is ruined. The jack-o'-lantern looks way too fake, it looks too plasticky. And again, this is just a personal issue. The clothes really don't fit him. Like, they look way too baggy and massive. Especially that collar. Yeah, that's only me. But other than that, it's a pretty nice farm prop. I really wish that he was done a little bit better, because I probably would have ended up buying him. But as it stands, he will not be added to my collection this year. At number 12, we have Poor George. Now, believe me, I did not expect to put this guy so high on my list. But compared to some of the other ones that we've seen, this is a really good clown. And a unique one. And I feel like the more unique they are, the cooler they are. I feel like he just kind of made up for what Lucky Bottoms lacked, which was gore and creepiness. Yeah, poor George. Really nice clown. In the number 11 spot, we have the 2023 Grave Watcher. Now this one was originally in my top 10, but I saw it in person, and I realized that it wasn't all what it was cracked up to be. Now don't get me wrong, I still like it a lot. There's even a small chance that I could buy it this year. It's at a really low price, and it's pretty creepy. It's very eerie. The voice gives you chills. The slow head tilting movement is really creepy. And the redesigned face looks really good too. So all in all, really good, affordable scare, but just missing out in the top 10. Okay, we have entered the top 10. And coming in at number 10, we have the Scary Sitting Scarecrow. Again, I can't believe that I'm saying that. Yeah, a really good remodel of the classic Sitting Scarecrow. Not quite as good, in my opinion, but still a really cool alternative. If you like LED eyes, which I don't, but, you know, that's fine. And I feel like the redesigned face and overall entire body looks really good. And if it weren't for those LED eyes, I actually think it might be scarier than the original. But it does have LED eyes, and I feel like that brings it down a little bit for me. Another thing is, I can confirm that I've seen it in person, and my theories were proven correct, that the extra face design has weighed down the head, and the pop-up motion isn't as jarring as it used to be. Just a little note there, if you're really looking for a shocking jump scare, that one is not it. In 9th place, we have one that I certainly did not expect to put here, and that is Eternal Rest. I thought that this one would be in the bottom 5 of this list, like in the 20s or the upper teens, but it managed to get its way into the top 10. And the only reason being, it is so much bigger than I expected. I thought it would be like Tombstone Terror size, but no, this thing is massive, especially for a Tombstone. I did not expect it to be as big as it was, and it rocketed up the list. And I will say, despite all of my criticisms of it last video, the Reaper face doesn't look as bad in person. The scream is annoying, and I still don't like they reused it. But the Reaper face doesn't look as bad as it looked in the video. And the animation isn't as lackluster. It's actually a very smooth head spinning motion. And honestly, it's a contender for one that I might add to my collection this year. So keep posted on that. You might see it. At number 8, I think this is the highest I've ever ranked a clown. We have Stilts. Yeah, number 8 for a clown. It feels weird just saying that. But you know what? That's fine. It's a really good clown. The height of this thing is massive. I was not expecting it to be that tall when I saw it in person. And it wasn't just one of those where it like turned its body. It turns its body, it moves its arms, and its head spins all the way around. And that, for me, really warrants the price tag, honestly. I feel like He's one of the ones where the price actually fits. The only complaint I have about him is, other than the fact that he's a clown, the face looks a little corny. Like, it looks fake and just a little off. But other than that, the animation is really good. The bowling pins look really good. The sounds are really good. I feel like they amplified that neck-breaking sound from Miss Mercy. All in all, really good clown. Not my favorite clown of all time, but probably my second favorite. Good job, Spirit, making clowns that I actually like. In 7th place, we have one of the fan favorites this year, and that's the Black Heart. And it's really cool, to say the least. It's an extremely unique design. The voice of the Reaper is really chilling. The voice lines aren't that bad. The face of the Reaper looks really good. And the woman's corpse also looks really well designed. My only issue is that if you're walking by it and it doesn't open up in time, you might not even notice that the woman was in there. That's the only issue, because I did that one time. Obviously I knew that the woman was in there, but I stepped on the step pad at Flagship, and it took like 4 or 5 seconds for the Reaper to unfurl the corpse. And I feel like if you were just walking by and you didn't know what you were looking at, the corpse inside could be missed. So that's my only issue. Other than that, really solid prop. Probably won't be getting it because it has a very large price tag, but I enjoy seeing it in stores. At number 6, we have Desmodus, another one that I didn't expect to put as high as I did. What I said in the previous video, before I actually saw him in person, is almost completely invalidated. Because while a mutated bat would have been cool, I feel like this is almost just as cool. And, a quick little note, in last video, I said that he had a bunch of creepy cloth dangling from him. In fact, he has no creepy cloth at all. And I was mistaken. It was actually the tree that he was standing on. It's not creepy cloth, so apologies for that. And I actually think he looks really good. The jump scare is very shocking, very fast, does have a very long reset time, and you should know that if you watched my reset video. Go check that out if you want. But yeah, Desmodus, really cool bat animatronic, really unique jump scare. Was not expecting to put it this high on the list, but I did. And I applaud Spirit for making up for the loss of the mutated bat concept. We have arrived at the top 5. And it rhymes. And kicking it off is by far the community's favorite, Darling Dolly. It's hard to find anything I don't like about this one. The looks are terrifying. The animation is really good and very unique. The sound quality is great. The screaming sounds really good. Even the LED eyes were incorporated pretty nicely. Yeah, I honestly can't find anything I don't like about this one. It's extremely unique, extremely creepy, and is a great example of what the ingenuity of some people can create. In the number 4 spot, we have Deathstalker, who was kicked out from the top 3 by the next 2 that I will be talking about. And for the sole reason that he doesn't do much. I love the look, and that basically carries him into this number 4 spot. It's so weird. You don't know what you're looking at, and that's the cool thing. You have to use your imagination to kind of create an image or a backstory of what you're looking at. And that's really cool. And the fog machine effect from the mouth is also really cool. I feel like the motion is a little lackluster. But aside from that, it's a really cool monster that we don't see often. Like, we don't see these random creatures that often as Spirit. So when they do come around, it's really exciting. And that is why Deathstalker is at number 4. Alright, we are at the top 3. And coming in at the 3rd place spot is Hellspawn. One that I was excited for, and then disappointed about, and then got even more excited about. And I was excited because of the price tag. And it was $330. And sometimes you just know that if something's that expensive and it's not licensed, it's either got to be gigantic or really unique. Possibly a servo animatronic, because I believe that's the price of Strawman. And then I looked at the height, and it said, I think, 4'9" or like 5'1" or something. And I couldn't even imagine what a $330 5-foot animatronic would look like. And then I saw the pictures, and he was just a Mr. Dark reskin. And I was so angry. Because don't get me wrong, I love Mr. Dark. He's so awesome. We had a reskin coming. But I wasn't expecting it from Hellspawn. And that made me a little disappointed, to say the least. And then I started seeing some better quality pictures of him, and that definitely boosted him up the scales a little bit. And then I saw him in person, and boy did he impress. I feel like the pop-up motion is a lot faster than Mr. Dark's. I actually feel like he might be taller than Mr. Dark. The noises in the background are way better than Mr. Dark's. And yeah, sure, it looks like a generic devil, but we haven't seen a generic devil since 2015 Harbinger of Hell. And I really appreciate that they use the classic demon look. And that is why Hellspawn gets number 3 on the list. At number 2, we have one that I really wish was in stores, but would probably result in accidents and subsequently lawsuits. And that's Emmeline. And I can already picture it in my head. If she was set up in stores, she'd probably go off and nail some little kid in the face. And I think it's probably for the best that Spirit kept her as in-box only. However, I still wish that she was in the theme, just maybe like set up where she couldn't hit anybody. And she's such a cool design. It's Mr. Dark sideways. She lunges out so far, I think it's 44 inches, and I've seen videos of her from the side, and it's so massive, lengthwise. I don't even know where you could put it without it hitting anybody. But the face looks really good, very scary, and all in all, an amazing ghost prop. We have reached the number 1 spot. And if you watched my previous video, or you've been following along very closely in this one, you already know what that's going to be. Mr. Vine Boom himself, Gordo. And no, the reason that he's first is not because of the Vine Boom. I actually didn't even know that was in there until I watched the video a couple times on repeat. And I just love the way this guy looks. The jump scare is really good quality. Sorry. Even the sounds, even without the vine boom, the sounds are really good. The aesthetic looks really good. The guts inside him look really good. I have basically no complaints about this guy, and I am definitely picking him up this year, so be watchful. That video of the unboxing will come out sometime this Halloween season. And with that, we have come to the end of my ranking of the entire 2023 Spirit Halloween animatronic lineup. Now remember, these are all my opinion, and so make sure to type your opinion down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.